There's been a few concerning reports on Reddit regarding the Galaxy Watch Ultra's durability, so should you be spending upwards of $600 on the new Galaxy Watch Ultra, or should you consider the cheaper but very much still relevant Galaxy Watch 5 Pro? Or do you go completely off the rails and jump on this new Smartring hype and go for my wildcard option? Stay tuned. The Galaxy Watch Ultra is undeniably impressive. It boasts a rugged design, a plethora of advanced features, and Samsung's latest and greatest technology. But don't dismiss the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro just yet. In my opinion, it's a hidden gem that outshines even the newer Galaxy Watch 6 and even 7 in some key areas. Its battery life, for instance, is still a force to be reckoned with, rivaling even the Ultra's endurance, but more on that in a bit. I know it's not all about looks, but the Galaxy Watch Ultra does get an easy win for design. It's interesting, it's more practical, and comes with a larger 1.5-inch display as opposed to the 1.4-inch display on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. You'll notice on the side of the Ultra we get 3 buttons that are customizable as opposed to the 2 buttons you get with your Watch 5 Pro. You could argue you'll have a sleeker, more minimal design with the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, and some of you may even prefer that. But after seeing and using the Ultra, I can't help but think the Watch 5 Pro looks a little bit boring. Now, we can't judge a book by its cover, but diving a little bit deeper into the design, the Watch Ultra does win again with its new watch strap system. Custom watch bands are replaced in mere seconds, whilst the Watch 5 Pro has a much more fiddly pin system that has taken up way too much of my time. The Watch Ultra continues to dominate when it comes to waterproofing, having the first 10 ATM waterproof rating given to any Galaxy Watch, which means it can be submerged up to 100 meters. That's 328 feet. I'm not quite sure what metric system the US are using today, deep for up to 10 minutes compared to the 5 ATM waterproofing on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. Although an easy win for the Ultra in this one, it's worth remembering that actually this feature won't really be a deciding factor for many of you when comparing the two watches or deciding whether to upgrade, unless of course you are a keen swimmer or diver. That being said, this could be the perfect opportunity to introduce to you my wildcard option, the Ultrahuman Ring Air Smart Ring. If waterproofing is important to you, then the Ring Air can actually be submerged up to 100 meters for up to 12 hours, and it certainly has a smaller footprint than a smartwatch, so just something to consider. Back to the watches for a second though, in terms of material, there's actually not much difference. It does say the Ultra's titanium casing is tested to military standards to withstand extreme temperature, altitude and pressure, but the Watch 5 Pro also has a titanium casing and the same sapphire glass display. Neither the Watch Ultra or Watch 5 Pro come with a rotating bezel we all knew and love, and I was inclined to deduct a point from the Galaxy Watch Ultra for teasing us with the static bezel, but I can't deny it does add some visual interest. Concerning durability, the Watch Ultra boasts its rugged design and military-grade certifications. However, it is worth noting that some users on Reddit have reported issues with buttons falling off. Whilst it's unclear how these incidents occurred, and a few reports don't necessarily indicate a widespread problem, it's certainly something to keep in mind, especially when investing in a premium device that's going to cost you upwards of $600. Anyway, overall, it is one easy point to the Galaxy Watch Ultra when it comes to design. Let me know in the comments which design you prefer, the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro or the Galaxy Watch Ultra. Display. The Galaxy Watch Ultra is certainly onto a winner again with this one, with its extremely high peak brightness of 3000 nits, which is huge compared to that of the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, which only comes in at 1000 nits, making the Watch Ultra significantly easier to read in direct sunlight. But what about resolution? Well, the Ultra with its larger display comes with 480 pixels by 480 and 335 ppi. The Watch 5 Pro comes with 450 by 450, 455 ppi, so the Watch 5 Pro does have a higher pixel density, but in my opinion the difference is negligible and you can't really notice it on such a small screen. Speaking of displays though, what if you didn't actually need a display at all? The Ultrahuman Ring Air is a smart ring. It's minimal, way less bulky, weighing between 2.4 and 3.6 grams. It's also built from titanium, although you do get the choice of material, and it does a lot of things that your smartwatch can do, but we'll talk about that after we discuss just how much these devices are going to hurt your bank account. So price-wise, this is where the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro really shines in my opinion. It's a solid watch for a mere fraction of the price of the Galaxy Watch Ultra. I've seen the Watch 5 Pro go as cheap as $189 or so, going up to $330 on Amazon for a brand new one, and the Watch Ultra comes in at $600, which is double that of the Watch 5 Pro's current price. But do you get double the features? Keep watching. It's worth considering the Watch 5 Pro was released in August 2022, so a couple of years behind the Galaxy Watch Ultra, which is why why it's gone down in price, but I feel like the features aren't necessarily 2 years behind. If you did want a cheaper device and the age of the Watch 5 Pro was a concern to you, and you don't fancy forking out $600 for the Ultra, then for $340 or £320, you could consider the wildcard option again, the Ultrahuman Ring Air. This is new as of 2024 and constantly has new updates and features coming through the dedicated app, such as the power plugs, for example. These work out things like your perfect caffeine intake window, UV exposure, and much more. And on top of this, you are not confined to one ecosystem. Although both Galaxy Watches will work with any Android phone, you do lose out on some features like the advanced sleep tracking, for example, with non-Samsung phones, and you can't really use it with an iPhone at all. You get all of these features on your Ring Air, regardless of what platform you're on, including the advanced sleep tracking that will track your REM, deep sleep, and light sleep stages, and give you a sleep score in a similar fashion to the Galaxy Watch. Check the links in the pinned comment though for the latest prices. I'll put an alien, a robot, and a ring emoji next to them so you can find them really easily. Health features. Now, price aside for a second, what do you actually get for your money, specifically with the health features? Both the Galaxy Watch Ultra and Watch 5 Pro are packed with features, some you'd expect and some that might surprise you. Health tracking is where these watches really start to shine. They both track your steps, heart rate, sleep, stress levels, blood oxygen, blood pressure, and even ECG, and they do it all pretty accurately as well. Now, the Ultra did introduce some cool new health metrics when it launched. The energy score, for example, gives you a real-time snapshot of your overall energy levels, super handy for optimizing your workouts and recovery. But here's the kicker, Samsung actually rolled out features like the energy score to the Watch 5 Pro via an update. So you will get access to some of these awesome new features without having to pay the hefty price tag. However, there is a few health features that are still exclusive to the Galaxy Watch Ultra. The Ages Index, for example, this feature estimates your biological age based on your metabolic health. It's like a peek into the future, showing you how your lifestyle choices are impacting your body's aging process. It's really cool stuff, quite advanced, and it's able to do this with the new light sensors that the Watch 5 Pro don't actually come equipped with. Now back to the wildcard option for a second again, the Ultrahuman Ring Air. This rather sleek titanium smart ring might look unassuming, but it's packed with sensors that can track a ton of health metrics just like your Galaxy Watches. It measures your heart rate variability, sleep stages, and more. It's like having a personal health coach on your finger, giving you personalized insights and recommendations to optimize your well-being, and it does so in a way that feels a little bit more personal. It's tough to put into words really, but the Ultrahuman Ring Air software does a brilliant job of looking after me, and it feels a little bit more present than Samsung Health. For example, I took an afternoon nap for 40 minutes and I woke to a message saying, "Did you take a nap?" I also went for a walk. It confirmed with me and worked out a rough estimate of how much vitamin D I was getting. It's just doing that little bit more, and it doesn't stop there. The Ultrahuman Ring Air is constantly evolving with new features like power plugs that track things like your caffeine intake and UV exposure. During my testing, 2 new power plugs have actually been added, so they clearly are a very active development team. One feature that's really impressed me though is the dynamic recovery score. It's a little bit like the energy score on the Samsung Galaxy Watches on steroids. It takes into account everything from your sleep, workouts, and even your HRV to give you a single number representing how ready your body is to tackle the day. Specifically, I've really enjoyed the sleep debt calculator, not just to know when I need more sleep, but actually to give me a little bit of mental clarity when I think I've not had enough sleep. For example, if I have had a very slow sedentary day, it means I don't actually need as much sleep to recover, so the ring has been telling me I'm fine, when otherwise I might have actually been panicking a little bit because I've not got my 8 hours in. As part of this, it also features your stress rhythm tracking, which it takes into account for your dynamic energy score. This is a really nice feature, and it's continuous throughout the day as opposed to the Samsung watches, which are not by default, but you can make it continuous if you so desire. One last really cool and impressive feature was the cardiovascular age. This just adds a little bit of accountability and I suppose competition with yourself. It's something that could scare you a little bit if you were to get an older score than you should actually be at, and encourage you to fix it. It gets this data by finding your VO2 max and various other things, which can also be done on the Galaxy Watch, but I just like the way that it presents all this information to you. So it's a bit of a game changer for those who want to take their general health tracking to the next level with added extras like telling you when the best time to have a coffee is, how much sleep debt you're in, and it even uses data from your phone to tell you how much screen time you've had if you do want to activate that power plug. It's this kind of innovation that I feel like I wish we had on the Samsung Galaxy Watches. One area it's not quite as good in, however, is workouts. Workouts are still in beta on the app, and it doesn't do quite as good a job as picking up exercise as a Watch 5 Pro and a Watch Ultra. For the Samsung watches though, workouts haven't really changed at all. In fact, the experience feels pretty much the same on the Watch 5 Pro. The Watch Ultra did bring a few new features like the multi-sport tile, which is a nice one to have, but I feel like it's going to appeal to a very small niche of people, and much like the energy score feature, it's actually available on the Watch 5 Pro now via an update. One feature that is again present on both smartwatches though is one that is actually introduced by the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro in August 2022, and that is the body composition analysis. It works exceptionally well on both smartwatches and gives you a fantastic insight into your water, body fat and skeletal muscle, which should really help if you are trying to hit your weight loss goals. Now, one area that might just sway you to the more expensive Galaxy Watch Ultra is performance. Now, I was really impressed with the smoothness of the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro when it was first released. Apps opened nice and easily, the UI functioned as you would expect, and it even ran games without a hitch. A year into my use of the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, it did start to feel a little bit sluggish. Another 12 months passed and it got to the point where I was actually having to restart the watch to fix frozen screens and apps. Admittedly, being a tech YouTuber that's really niched down on the Galaxy Watch scene, I probably got a lot more watch faces, apps and whatnot installed than your regular Joe. But that is also another reason to consider the Watch Ultra. You see, the Watch Ultra comes with a record 32GB of storage compared to the 16GB of onboard storage with the Watch 5 Pro, so you're getting double the capacity there for songs, apps and watch faces. On top of that, the Watch Ultra and Watch 7, to be fair, have the much faster and much improved Xenos W1000 and 2GB of onboard RAM, as opposed to 1.5GB on the Watch 5 Pro. It's not a huge difference, but in terms of smartwatches, it's going to give you a real boost. This does make the Watch Ultra a better choice here for multitasking and from usage of both watches, potentially longevity. This is undeniably a huge win for the Galaxy Watch Ultra in this category, but if you do want to save a little bit of money, I still wouldn't dismiss the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. I do believe with sensible usage, you shouldn't have any huge issues. Things just might not feel quite as fluid compared to the Galaxy Watch Ultra. Now, of course, if you did want to eliminate any risk at all of your watch going sluggish over time, then you can again consider the Ultrahuman Smartring. You might not be able to answer calls and play games, but it is one less thing to worry about, much like battery life. So when it comes to the Watch 5 Pro versus the Watch Ultra, there is no clear-cut winner here, really. If you were, however, to compare them to the 4 to 7 days you get with the Ultrahuman Ring Air, then it absolutely blows the smartwatches out the water. Back to the Galaxy watches for a second, both watches actually have the same 590 mAh battery, but from heavy usage of both watches, I actually want to say the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro wins in this category. It does appear to last ever so slightly longer. This could be due to a number of things, like a more demanding processor on the Galaxy Watch Ultra, more sensors, and potentially the larger and brighter screen. There is certainly a visible difference in battery life when comparing the two smartwatches. If you were on the fence between the two watches, then my advice again is don't let this be the single deciding factor between the two. Now, one area where the Smartring is not going to be a valid alternative is productivity features and performance, although it does have a Find My Ring setting in the app. Both the Galaxy Watch Ultra and Watch 5 Pro have the capabilities to send and receive text, calls, and even make use of navigation apps such as Google Maps, and all of these things work great on both watches. There is a slight difference between the two that I did welcome this year, and that is LTE as standard for the Galaxy Watch Ultra. For previous models of the Galaxy Watch, including the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, you need to pay a premium for the LTE version of the smartwatch, which allows you to make and receive calls without having to have your phone nearby, essentially making it a completely standalone device. You can, however, make calls, send texts, and use Map on any version so long as you are within proximity to your phone and connected via Bluetooth. You'll also be able to connect your earphones to both your Watch 5 Pro and Galaxy Watch Ultra and download songs for offline use using the Spotify app. Just bear in mind that there is limited storage on your Watch 5 Pro and you don't want to overload it. You'll also get access to the same cool watch faces from the Play Store on both watches, as well as the ability to install third-party apps such as Strava, for example. And I'd also recommend Wearable, and Audible is actually a really fun app to have on your smartwatch as well. Really well optimized, and you can download a couple of bucks to your smartwatch when you're exercising. I'll put links in the description with a turtle emoji and a camel emoji so you can find them nice and easy. Moving on, both watches do feature NFC, so you will be able to make payments when you're out and about, and they also come with the ability to control smart home devices and make use of the Google Assistant or Bixby if you're that way inclined. Now, in terms of hardware, you do get a very similar unboxing experience, and with both Galaxy Watches you do get a magnetic puck charger with the box, and of course you get your watch straps in there as well. The Ring Air comes with its own wireless charger specifically designed for your ring size. Before you order your Ring Air, you actually do get sent a ring sizing box as well, along with sample colors and materials for your rings. You've got matte black, gold and raw titanium to name a few. This is the raw titanium version. So is the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro still viable in 2024 going into 2025? Is the Ultra worth that $600 price tag, or is the Ultrahuman Smartring for you? So if you are here to validate your purchase, don't worry. To be honest, I rate all three devices and I think they've all got a place on someone's wrist or finger. The Galaxy Watch Ultra has that performance, it has a loud, exciting design and a much brighter screen. You also get your ages index feature as well as skin temperature monitoring. It's a genuinely fantastic smartwatch and a favorite Galaxy Watch of mine to date. It is on the higher end of the price scale, and being honest, I think we are walking the line of whether or not we get $600 of features here, just being honest. But focusing back in on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, I think it's a great entry into a powerful smartwatch with little compromise at a very sensible price point. My main concern with the Watch 5 Pro is performance over time, but I reiterate, if you are careful about overloading it with watch faces and apps, I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. And battery life is a big plus on the Watch 5 Pro. It's still competing with the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 years on, and it actually blows the Galaxy Watch 6 out of the water. However, we do of course have the Ultrahuman Ring Air, which cannot be beaten on battery life, boasting almost a week as well as sporting an incredibly subtle form factor. Wearing the Ring Air is a lot more comfortable than a smartwatch, and I'm really impressed with the additional features the Ring Air has to offer over the Samsung watches. It's unique, it's not so invasive, and it's super easy to manage. So to break it down for you, the Galaxy Watch Ultra is probably for more serious, competitive, adventurous people, and for those of you who don't have the money lying around, the Watch 5 Pro is the perfect entry into a serious smartwatch that should serve everyone's needs, but it will certainly stretch to more serious athletes on a bit of a budget. And then the Ultrahuman Ring Air. This one is for those of you who are focused on well-being in general. It might not have all the fancy workouts that Samsung watches have, but it's really easy to wear. It does a fantastic job of giving you an insight into your overall health, and it is half the price of the Galaxy Watch Ultra, which by the way you can see more of by clicking in the top right hand corner now to watch my full review, or watch 70 things to do with the Galaxy Watch Ultra to see exactly what you're going to get for $600. For now though, I've been Alex, this has been Tech It Easy, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.